It's Monday, and yesterday, if you saw my video yesterday, it went really well with the birthday party. And yes, my family can vouch for me. I didn't have any macaroni and cheese. I had no cake. All I had was 2 cheeseburgers, lettuce wrapped, let's see, with some spinach and a salad. And that was it. So it went pretty well. Woke up this morning. I'm still in the 190s range. Let's see, on Sunday morning, I woke up at 196.8, and then I went up to 199.2. So I gained a couple pounds because of the beef and those kind of things. But what I thought about sharing in this video today is I want to give you like the 5 common keto / carnivore mistakes that a lot of people make that I see happen over and over and over again, and it could potentially be stalling your weight loss. So I want to talk about 4 or 5 of them in this video. Now, before I talk about those actual mistakes, if you're not familiar with who I am, I've had a lot of subscribers subscribing to the channel. So if you're new, my name is Ernst. I'm an intermittent keto fasting coach who has personally lost myself 70 pounds in just 7 months, all the way back in 2018. Okay, so I did that way back then. I was really overweight. I was like 243 pounds, and I got absolutely shredded to 173. Okay. Fast forward some years, I gained some weight. It kind of went up and down. And this year in 2025, I decided that's enough. I was probably around 233 at the beginning of this year. Now I'm at 199. My goal is 190, but we might go down to 185, 190-ish. So I've only got about 9 to like 14 pounds left to go, okay? So I've also coached hundreds of men from all over the world to lose at least 40 pounds in 16 weeks. And if you want more information on that, I'll go ahead and put a link in the description of this video. It'll take you to another video and kind of explain a little bit about what I do more in detail and how it could potentially help you. All right, so let's get right into this video on some common mistakes that I see people make with the keto and carnivore diet. They're very similar. Really, the only difference is carnivore is really strictly meat. You're not allowed to have any fibers, so no vegetables and lettuce and things like that. Whereas keto, you can have that. So they're pretty similar, especially when it comes to the protein-fat ratios. So number one is a lot of people like to consume a lot of fat. They're almost compensating for, maybe some comfort foods that they used to eat, like sweets and sugar, and they're kind of replacing that with eating a lot of fat to kind of satisfy you. Now, fats are something you want to have on a keto diet. However, if you eat too much fat for too long, what ends up happening is that your body starts to adapt, and you're not allowing your own body to lose its own body fat. You got to remember, when you're eating a lot of fat, those are a lot of calories, okay? You want to try to keep the fat somewhere around, I would say around that 100 grams to 130 grams at the most. I mean, I've seen people go 150, 200 grams of fat, and they wonder why they stop losing weight. You got to remember, the fat around your waistline is like meals, okay, that are tied around your waistline, and you got to give your body a reason to get rid of this fat. But if you keep pounding the fat with food, you're not allowing your own body to get rid of its own body fat. So there is a little bit of a balance. I know keto is 75% of your calories are going to come from fat, okay? 20% is protein and only 5% carbs, which is actually from vegetables, okay? So that's number one, the fat. Be careful with that. Number two, a lot of people end up consuming all throughout the day. They're eating these keto snacks and carnivore snacks, and they're kind of eating all throughout the day with their, 2-3 meals. And what can happen in that case is that you're eating too many calories, okay? Keto and carnivore is not this magical diet where you can just eat all this ribeye steaks and eggs and, seafood all you want and expect to just shed a lot of weight. Calories will matter, so you're going to want to track it using an app like MyFitnessPal or Carb Manager. That's what I personally do. Now, one way to really manage those calories is number 3. What I do is intermittent fasting. I would highly recommend that you do the keto diet with carnivore with intermittent fasting. So if you're someone who's used to eating 3 meals a day, stick to the 3 meals a day, okay? But just don't be eating the snacks in between those meals. Keep it strictly to 3 meals. And try to eat for beginners, it's typically like that 12 p.m. to 8 p.m., which I think 8 p.m. is a little too late. I really wouldn't recommend that one. A lot of people like to start with that. They're eating like their lunch at 12 or 1, and then like their meal, I don't know, somewhere in the middle of the afternoon, 3 or 4, and then they're eating all the way up till 7 or 8 o'clock. I don't recommend eating that late because Your body does not need all those calories late in the evening because typically you're not as mobile. You're just sitting on the couch watching TV. I would recommend consume the majority of your calories earlier in the day so you can kind of burn those off and then go to bed empty. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Now, once you start doing 3 meals a day and you've got that down, start pulling back to 2 meals a day. Okay, I like the 18-6. You could literally eat it like 12 and 6 if you want. Okay, that's a good range. You start getting used to 2 meals a day, draw back to 1 meal a day. Kind of eat between 12 and 4. That's a really good one. Between 12 and 4, have that 1 meal a day. That's what I'm currently doing right now. I mean, I've already lost over 33 pounds this year, and I started January 2nd of this year. I've shed already over 30 pounds doing 1 to 2 meals a day. I'm currently doing 1 meal. Like right now, it's 1:20 and I haven't even eaten yet. I'll probably eat around 2 o'clock and then I won't eat the rest of the day, okay? If OMAD stops working for you, which I highly doubt it, OMAD's pretty good. Let's say you're eating OMAD later in the day, I would suggest that you eat it, like I said earlier in the day, okay? A lot of people like to chase that meal toward the end of the day, right? It gives them something to look forward to. They're drinking their black coffee, they're drinking water, and they're like, oh, I can't wait to eat my 1 meal. But it's too late in the day. So like I said earlier, you don't need all those calories toward the end of the day. I would recommend do ETRF, which stands for early time restricted feeding. You want to eat somewhere earlier in the day, you're going to burn those calories off, and then you're going to go to bed empty, okay? Also, you can implement 1 fast day a week. I currently do that. I've been averaging 3 to 4 pounds every single week that I do a 48-hour fast. So I've been fasting from Friday to Sunday. So my last meal will be at 3 p.m. on a Friday. And usually I'll break it on Sunday around that time. It's between 12 and 3. So it's anywhere between like that 45 to 48 hour fast over the weekend, which I know is insane because a lot of people like to eat and go out to eat on the weekends. I choose to do that on the weekend, all right? The last thing I want to talk about is you see a ton of these keto desserts and carnivore desserts and all these crazy recipes that use a lot of these sugar substitutes, like erythritol, monk fruit, and there's really nothing wrong with that. But what can happen is, again, you're almost replacing those comfort foods that you really enjoyed when your diet was really bad, and you're replacing it with other comfort foods, and you end up consuming too much of this stuff. Okay, so I would recommend not to do any of these keto desserts and carnivore stuff. I've seen carnivore cheesecakes, keto pancakes, and I mean, just go to your grocery store. There's a health food section that's got all these keto things, and you really need to read the back of the label to make sure it's strictly keto, because they put some sneaky ingredients in there that I would say are not keto or carnivore compliant at all. You got to be careful with this. It makes no sense to replace one comfort type food with another one, okay? Stay strict in the beginning. Now, like where I'm at, I've lost over 30 something pounds. I could probably include some of these keto sweet treats and carnivore treats because I've lost over 30 pounds. But if you're going right into this and you're already looking for keto sweets or carnivore sweets, you're not going to make it very long. You want to get your body fat adapted right away. Get rid of the sweetness, okay? I'm telling you, if you eat some protein and fats, they're going to keep you satiated. You're going to crave a lot less. Start with it strict. As you start hitting certain milestones, maybe a milestone for you is like when I hit my first 10 pounds of weight loss, maybe I'll have a little keto treat or something. So maybe every 10 pounds is like a milestone. My milestone was to get to under 200. Okay, so I didn't cheat at all. I went from 233 to 200. When I got to 200, which actually I fell below 200, I got all the way down to like 199. I was like, okay, now I can have some type of treat, but I kept it clean. A keto, dessert or carnivore dessert, something like that. So my milestone was actually quite big. I wanted to wait till I got under that 200 pounds to do any type of keto or carnivore, sweets, okay? So those are the rules. If you follow those rules, you're gonna lose weight much, much faster. And really my specialty is helping men, above 40 and beyond to cut weight super fast. Like I said, losing 33 pounds in since less than 2 months is extremely fast, okay? But that's a specialty that I have, and your health is gonna dramatically change when you start pulling these sugars out, the carbs. You start eating the right amount of protein and fats, okay, with your meals. You start applying intermittent fasting. You start tracking your calories. You start doing some strength training, okay? Building muscles, very, very important, As you age, you don't want your muscle to atrophy. You got to give your body a reason to hold on to muscle. Okay, so that was something I should have mentioned also, is make sure you're training on top of the diet as well. But I will tell you, the diet's going to be about 90% of your success. I mean, just look around your gym, okay? Do you really ever see anyone make a significant body transformation? I've been going to the gym since I was 25 years old. I don't ever see anybody make a transformation. They're just in there year after year looking the same. I'm like, don't you want to see like some type of physical result? I know I do. This is why, like I said, I made it a goal this year to get to 190. So that would be about 40 pounds. Okay, so I'm almost there. So stick to those rules. Okay, I would highly recommend stick to those rules, and you're going to notice that you're going to lose weight much, much faster than the rest of the population. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that video. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to hit that notification bell as well so you don't miss any future episodes. Until next time, I will see you then.